I see Away luggage a lot when I travel. As much as I love its looks, I prefer soft side suitcases and always wished Away made one. Well, guess what? Now they do. This suitcase seriously looks better than any old school soft side suitcases I've seen and is designed to be lighter than others on the market. Soft side comes in four of their best selling sizes and tried and true colors. And there's something for everyone in the lineup. Two carry on sizes, two check sizes, four colors: black, blue, pink, my favorite, and gray. I love my Away luggage and I can get so much in there without having to sit on my suitcase to get it closed. You got to check out the new soft side luggage from Away. Head on over to awaytravel.com/ratchet. That's awaytravel.com/ratchet to see the new soft side luggage from Away. awaytravel.com/ratchet.
Today's episode is brought to you by Angie. Angie has made it easier than ever to connect with skilled professionals to get all your jobs and projects done well. Let me tell you, there's the version of it where you try to do something at home, and then there's a version of it where you have someone help you, you watch them do it the right way, and you go, thank God I didn't try to do that myself. I have fully done things around the home that I think look good, and then a bang in the night, and I wake up to a shelf collapsing, a painting falling off the wall. I've seen it all go south. I own a home, and I can tell you, I know how much work it can take. Whether it's everyday maintenance and repairs or making dream projects a reality, it can be hard just to know where to start. But now all you need to do is Angie that and find a skilled local pro who will deliver the quality and expertise you need. Whatever your home project, big or small, indoor or outdoor, you can Angie that and connect with skilled professionals to get the project done well. Right now, one of my wish lists is I want a bike for my condo in Milwaukee, and I would love to rig it up on a pulley in the ceiling because I have one of those like lofted ceilings, but I'm so scared to try that on my own. Angie has 20 years of home experience, and they've combined it with new tools to simplify the whole process. Bring them your project online or with the Angie app. Answer a few questions and Angie can handle the rest from start to finish, or help you compare quotes from multiple pros and connect instantly, which means you can take care of any home project in just a few taps. Because when it comes to getting the most out of your home, you can do this when you Angie that. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
I'm the kind of person who never shows up empty-handed. So my go-to host gift is a fantastic bottle of wine. And as a First Leaf member, I always have the perfect bottle on hand to share. First Leaf isn't your average wine club. It's better. With each shipment, I get a personalized selection of wines from all over the world, handpicked just for me. But by far the best thing about First Leaf is how much I can tailor my membership to my needs. I like to call in and ask about the reds or the rosés. I like my reds very dry. I like my rosés just a little bit of sweet. So get wines to sip and share all summer long with First Leaf. Go to tryfirstleaf.com/ratchet to sign up, and you'll get your first 6 handpicked bottles for just $44.95. That's tryfirstleaf.com/ratchet. Tryfirstleaf.com/ratchet.
If you know the backstory, it has taken me forever and a day. It literally took me 2 days to get here. I've been chronicling it on Instagram. I tried to leave from National, and the flight was canceled. And then I got on a new flight, and then I flew to Detroit. Detroit was supposed to take me to Miami. Then I landed in Detroit, and then my flight was canceled from Miami. And I was like, am I stuck in Detroit? So it took 2 hours, and then 2 hours to fly back to National, and then the airport was almost closed when I got there. It's been an ordeal. But I'm very happy to be here. I made it. Thank you, my love. The very good grace about having a predominantly of color audience is we are praying people. So I was like, let me just put it out in the universe, put it out in the ether. And I was like, I have 1 million black women praying for me. God will make a way. That's it. I am very happy to be here. Thank you for coming out in the rain. Thank you, Juanita and Cadillac and the whole team that has put all this together. Thank you to my team that has put this together. It came together very simply. I just sort of threw it out there, just like Juanita said, in the elevator. And I was like, what if we did Ratchet and Respectable at ABFF? And she was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, is she for real right now? Turns out she was. Look at that. Look at God. So yeah, so here we are. That is my intro. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those who don't identify as either and those who identify as both. You are listening to Ratchet and Respectable. I am very excited to bring my guest to the stage. She is Nicole Friday. She is the president of Nice Crowd, a leading entertainment company in the event tourism arena, formerly known as ABFF Ventures, AKA is the reason we're all here. Nice Crowd's properties include the American Black Film Festival, ABFF, an annual event in its 28th year? Yes, okay. ABFF honors award ceremony, and because they're funny comedy festival, ABFF Global, we gotta talk about that, an international screening series promoting the universal appeal of Black content. Please welcome Nicole Friday to the stage. Hello, my love. How are you? Welcome. Mwah. Thank you so much for coming out.
Of course. Thanks for having me here. Hi, y'all.
Hey.
Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all.
How are you?
I am
There's a
great.
lot happening this weekend.
There's a lot happening this weekend. You know, I have to say, we've been rolling with the punches.
Yes.
We have been rolling with the punches, but you know, come hell or high water, this festival was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many were here on Wednesday. How many of you all were here on Wednesday opening night? So I did say, I want to thank you all for your prayers, because I did say from the stage, doesn't matter who you pray to.
Exactly. Somebody.
God, Jesus, Allah, Buddha,
It's
whomever,
something up.
whomever. But I want to thank you for your prayers, because the weather has been it's been holding up for the most part. You know,
Yes.
on Wednesday and Tuesday we had some torrential rainstorms, but
Yes,
but God
I
is
wasn't
good.
here, but I made it.
Yeah, you
But I
did.
made
You
it.
did
I
make
made
it. Thank
yes.
God you
And I
did.
so appreciated last night, because I think everyone, like I talked about it on Instagram, and I forget all the time, like who all is reading.
Yeah.
But like I was going through the crowd last night, and people were, one, the crowd was huge, which I was like, okay, like people are outside. There's a lot of people outside. That's beautiful. But a lot of people were like, oh my God, you made it, and you were one of them. And I was like, I felt so seen and appreciated, and it's just very worth it.
Of
So
course,
thank
of
you.
course.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks
Yes,
for coming.
yes,
Thanks
yes, yes.
for battling through the storm.
Yes, literally battling
Right.
through the storm. So one of the reasons that I really wanted to speak with you is because this was several years ago. I was at ABFF, and you came to the stage for something or another. I don't know what it was. Actually, I was doing a project with TV1, and it was Don't Waste Your Pretty. And you came to the stage to like welcome the group. And someone asked, they said, who is that? And someone said, oh, that's Jeff's wife. And I was like, she a little bit more than that. Like, it's just a teeny bit. Like, that's the other brains behind the operation, right? And I think sometimes when there is, especially like, when you met Jeff, like the festival was already going,
For
right?
2 years.
For 2 years. So I think there's a tendency, a very bad tendency, a very misogynistic tendency to assume that like it's his thing and you're the wife associated with the thing. But you're like, no, this is like our thing. This is like a genuine family business.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I get that a lot. Oh, that's Jeff's wife. Not so much anymore, because Jeff has taken a step back. But for years, he was the face of ABFF. And so I understood that, and I was the one taking care of the kids, toting around the kids who are actually working now. I have an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old. And so I was home doing a lot of that. But I always felt like I was the Michelle Obama to Barack Obama. I was the pillow talker. So I was behind the scenes, but I was always very much a part of it. But people just didn't see it that way. They just saw me as Jeff's wife. But yeah, I do more than that.
A little bit more than that.
Just a little bit.
A little bit, yes. It's like, I just like the president, the president, not the assistant, the president of Nice Crowd. Thank you very much. So I wanted to talk to you about all the things that you have going on, especially with Nice Crowd. Nice Crowd is the new name of a company that's been around for a very long time.
Correct.
What brought the switch?
You know, we wanted, most people know us as the American Black Film Festival, and we wanted to show that we do more than just ABFF. We do, as you mentioned, some of the things we do Because They're Funny Comedy Festival, which is in Washington, D.C., coming back for the second year, September 27th to the 29th. We do ABFF Honors, which is our global brand in London. We also do ABFF London, which is our global brand in London. We also do ABFF Honors, which is an award show that takes place in Los Angeles in February, March during that time. So there's a number of things that we do, and we wanted to step away just from the ABFF brand a little bit so that people would see us in different light, and as a production company that produces all sorts of events.
One of the things that I saw, one of the things I like that you said about Nice Crowd, that you're expanding to other places. And so, like, we've got London and we've got comedy. And I toyed this around with one of your event planners, like ABFF Honors, me and Juanita. And I was like, so maybe like an ABFF Africa? Maybe like a Ghana or South Africa?
Listen, the sky is the limit. We have definitely thought about that. We recently visited South Africa a couple of years ago and got that bug. So for anyone who's ever been to Africa, I know that you're always you live there. You live a lot of places, actually.
I do. It's a nomadic life. Yeah.
But we certainly have thought about that, and we'd love to do something like that. We just have to, we have to figure that out. But we're here in Miami, we're here in the United States, we're in London, and hopefully we'll even expand the global footprint. Right now, we do have a streaming platform, you guys. It's called ABFF Play, and so if you haven't had an opportunity to watch all the films here while you're in Miami, they will be streaming on ABFF Play from June 17th to the 24th, and that's another way for us to reach globally, which we're really excited about.
Okay. Well, I wanted to tell you this one thing before we go. You know my ordeal. At ABFF, you honored Jeff, you and your sons. And Jeff got on the stage and he talked about the mission of ABFF, and anything that the Fridays put their name on is to love your blackness more when you exit the room than you did when you enter. So this is why I fly across continents and oceans to get to you. This is why I go to the airport and back to the airport and on a plane and on another plane to get to you, because you're worth it and because you love black people like I love black people, and I feel seen and I feel appreciated here in ways I don't always in other places. So I wanted to tell you that to your face.
Thank you.
On a camera, in front of the room.
Thank you.
And to the audience listening.
Thank you. And we appreciate you. We appreciate all of you for just getting here. We really, really do. There's a lot of people, unfortunately, who were not able to make it. But we'll make sure that they're all taken care of. These were circumstances beyond our control, but we're here, we're enjoying it. Hopefully we're feeding you, and you're walking out of here taking something. This Cadillac Lounge is amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much to Cadillac for being a dedicated sponsor. Yes, for being a dedicated sponsor to us, and this is great. This is wonderful.
Well, thank you, Nicole, for coming by.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Enjoy ABFF.
Yes,
You're going
you
to,
too.
I'm for sure. I'm excited to bring to the stage one of my favorite people, friend in my head to friend in real life, Scott Evans. Sir. He is not just a TV host, but a magnetic presence in entertainment. Whether it's primetime television or your favorite social media stories, Scott has the unparalleled ability to own the room and set the vibe. You may be familiar with him as the co-anchor for Access Hollywood. Consistent job, steady employed, I love it. He is also the host of Couple to Thruple. I'm unfamiliar with what that is, but we'll get into that on Peacock. Okay, please welcome to the stage, Scott Evans. Hi, my love, how are you? I'm good. Can I tell you, when I reached out to you, I DM'd you, and I was like, are you going to be at ABFF?
I was.
I just wanted to see you. I
am.
He's like, I am.
We're here.
Wherever we were going to do. I was going to see you because we sat next to each other at ABFF Honors, and I was like, I don't ever want to sit next to anyone else at another award show. Like, you were my kiki partner for life.
Let me tell you, we cut up so bad that Jeff Friday, founder of ABFF, from the stage, looked at us like,
that's enough. That's enough. I mean, he gave us the fatherly look.
Yeah.
It was the fatherly look.
I'm going to need y'all to sit down.
We did.
And we didn't.
No, we didn't.
Kind of.
I mean, we brought it down to a 10.
But it is so good to see you.
So good to
Thank
see
you so
you.
much for extending that invitation. It was y'all heard what she said about the journey to this place, the commitment that you kept.
Yes, thank you.
With being here and being a part of this incredible experience with Cadillac is thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Using your platform, using your voice, your space to boost the experience, the stories of so many other people. It's so dope what you do.
Thank you.
Thank
It's so
you.
dope what you do.
We out here.
I know. Can I tell you, you're the only person on the whole lineup today that I was like a little nervous about interviewing?
Why?
Because you interview people for a living.
Which means it's gonna be fun.
I mean,
it's gonna be easy.
but also I'm just like, when I'm like winging it or like oh.
You think I'm gonna be like, she don't even know what she's about to say.
It's like she don't got no list. She ain't write no questions.
She don't know what
She
she's
ain't even
about to
prepared
say.
for this interview.
Okay. Yeah. That question again. All right.
And it's like, you asked me the same.
No, if anything, I was excited about this conversation because you are a skilled interviewer because you have demonstrated success in this and intention with what you do.
Thank you.
It's not lost on me that Be Iconic is behind us.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
you know what time it is.
I'm doing my best.
And you're doing it well.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Listen, I don't know what that feels like to listen to. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's quality content for your broadcast or your podcast. But I have made a decision in my life to, when I am in the presence of people that have an impact on me,
yes,
or that I notice the impact they are making in a space, to call that out.
Yes.
To not any longer wait until there's I'm gonna hit them on Insta later, or I'm gonna send a text. People in these floods that just happened a couple days ago, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so I mean to take up time and take up space to love on and appreciate and shine a light right back when I see it shining so bright.
I appreciate
It's real.
you.
So
Thank
I love you. And I know that might not be quality content. But what did Charlize Theron say? What did Denzel Washington say? But the realness is this. So.
Well, no, I mean, I think this is one of the reasons that you were so successful in what you do. Because like last night I was watching you work the room, and I was like, this man moving like he the mayor. Like, you know everyone. Like, everyone. Like, part of my intro was going to be, like, you may know him from this, you may know him from that, but you also may be his friend because he knows everyone. Like, everyone.
That's my friend.
Like, people from the back. Like, friends.
You hear me?
Yes.
How many of us up there? Y'all need to know that my voice is, when I tell you that my voice is so gone. That white party last night.
What time did you get home, friend?
What time will I tell you?
Jesus is watching, just so you know.
Early.
Early? Okay. Was the sun up?
Earlier.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
No, I was late.
All grown folks. We're
Yeah,
grown
you know
folks
what I'm saying?
conversation.
You could tell from my voice how late it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had a good time?
I had the best time.
Do you remember what happened?
Most of it.
Okay, good. You had a great time then. Okay.
You look back at videos, you're like, whoa.
Wow. Like, I posted that. I uploaded that.
Oh my God.
Oh, dear.
Who saw this? Let me see. Okay, hide.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Oh, dear.
But you showed up to that white party looking, and I know what it must have been like for you to summon what you needed to summon to show up the way that you did.
I got off that plane after 2 days of traveling, and I got to the hotel. I was exhausted, and I was like, I don't care what. I don't care. Like, I'll take coffee, anything. Like, I'll take cocaine at this point. Like, I'm going out
and
tonight.
Mushrooms.
I'm going to enjoy this city because all I went through to get here, I'm seeing everything for ABFF.
Everything. Is the Washington Monument here? I want to see it.
Whatever's here.
Whatever it is, I want to. The zoo, is it open? I want to see it.
Everything. Now, I only stayed at the party for like 30 minutes before I had to go lay it down.
I did. I saw. She went. You know that walk you do when you leave early.
Not the church walk, not the tip out, the church walk tip out.
If one would come.
Yeah. But I wanted to show my face, and I also it felt good for people to be like, you're here. You made it. You're here.
Listen, like Canada, look, Canada. Like Canada on the Harriet Tubman.
Yes.
You know what I
when
mean?
You first arrived.
When you first arrive in Canada on the
is your
Underground World
analogy.
Road. Yes, because that's what it was like. When you made it, we were all like, we so glad you here.
Glad you here.
Oh,
like I done escaped.
Baby, look at her. She made it. Look at her. Looking good.
It was such an ordeal. It was such an
Y'all,
ordeal.
I mean, we laugh, but there's folks right now still looking at their ticket like, delayed.
A lot of folks turned around.
How long is it going to be delayed? It end on Sunday.
Yeah. Do you come to ABFF every year?
This is actually my second ABFF. My first ABFF was for the launch of Rap Shit.
Okay.
It's Rap Shit. And Bel Air on Peacock. Mm-hmm. I was hosting a few things for ABFF and the Academy, the Oscars, the Academy, which does the Oscars. Asked me to host a few panels, and it was my first experience in Miami for the festival. And I remember going home and being like, whoa, that was like camp. Mm-hmm. That felt like adult camp. You know what I mean? It's all the things that I love about entertainment, film, and television, and black people excelling, but not just like, oh, this is the mark of excellence, but also this is how I did it. This is how you can recreate it. If you're willing to, I'm willing to partner with you. I'm willing to collaborate with you. It was an incredible experience. And so to be back here, in association with Cadillac also is a big deal to me. And so it is, it's kind of, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's kind of emotional also. You know, I think about Denzel Washington coming back to the festival, being honored tomorrow.
Yes.
I think about Kerry Washington. You know, I watched this conversation yesterday with Nia Long and Jack Howard talking about the importance of how to make your money move, right? You know what I mean? And conversations that we don't always have, and ways we don't always have them. With real gems, real actual takeaways, not just like, yeah, I'm rich.
Yeah.
You want to be rich? Well, how'd you get rich? I got rich.
I got rich.
If you trying to be rich, be like me and be rich.
Just like some details,
Yeah,
please.
it's in my book. It's called I'm Rich.
Be rich.
You be like, you don't say.
You don't say.
This is what, 28 years?
Yeah.
ABFF, American Black Film Festival, 28 years. I mean, I really do mean this. Like, think about the other festivals, the other big events you see that have lasted this long, that have decided to continue to and center around Black people.
Yeah.
If you can't be excited about that, like, I'm emotional right now. I'm literally fighting tears right now.
Let me tell you something, because you were there when Jeff said it, Jeff Friday, at ABFF Honors, and this is one of the reasons I was so like, I just have to be here. Like, I'm gonna get off the plane and get on another plane and get on another plane, get on another plane. Jeff said his reason for doing ABFF, and he's like, when you enter anything that he does, that he and Nicole do together, that he wants you to love your Blackness more when you leave than you did when you show up. And I was like, I will cross a river. Like, literally, I crossed an ocean. I flew back from South Africa just to come to this event. Twice. This is the second time I've done it this year. But I flew back, and then, like, I got on several different planes, and went home, different airports, different cities.
At
like,
this point, you a
exactly.
captain.
Look.
You can fly. You a pilot. You can fly the plane.
Let D get in there. She'll be all right.
Yeah.
But I was like, because of that, and I was like, I love their philosophy on how they approach it, and I love the love that they have for Black people and Black excellence and Black art. And I was like, I will follow you anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
And the kind of intention you have to be able to move with in order to remain there, to stay there, when everything is going to tell you to broaden.
Yeah.
Everything is going to tell you to include others.
Yeah.
Everything is going to tell you that, well, this is super niche.
Yeah.
Y'all know what niche means.
Yeah, we know. We know.
It's so specific. You really may want to, like, just open it up. No, actually, if anything, we're going to drill down deeper.
Yeah.
And so to be able to stand here and to sit on this stage with you in front of you beautiful Black people, it is, it is, Lucky Day was standing here yesterday singing. This room was packed. You couldn't stand, like, I was standing on the bar,
I love that.
in the back, and still was like, like, this is the energy that we move in. This is the energy, the intention that we can move in. And if more and more of us, this is what Jeff and Nicole are about. This is what Darshina and Juanita are about. They are about harnessing the energy of Black people for our impact, to see our impact.
Yeah.
Right? To help measure our impact, to help further our impact. They understand that, like, when we are gathered together, magic happens.
Magic happens, yes.
It just does.
Yes.
We can't help it. It gets hot in the room.
Literally.
Because that's
Right
sometimes
now
how
it's a
you
little
measure
warm.
how much magic is in the space. You be like, whoo, it was hot in there.
Yes.
They had a good time in there. It's magic.
Magic.
You know?
I love it. They are giving me the signal, but before I let you go, couple to thruple.
Yes.
What is
that?
Yeah.
So it's a dating show on Peacock. It was a social experiment, right? So on top level, it is about couples coming down to Panama to this experience, this resort that I had, and being open to dating a third partner.
Okay, the thruple.
The thruple.
Okay.
Couple, 2, thruple.
Okay.
2 to 3.
Okay.
Ish.
Just 3 or 4? Do we go
Well, I
more?
don't
know where people want to take it.
You wherever you want to go.
Wherever you wanna go.
But on this particular show,
Okay, 3.
it was 3.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm not going to yuck nobody's yum.
Okay.
In the words of Dr. Shamira, who also went on this experience with me, she's a dating and relationship therapist. She's an incredible, incredible resource about what happens when people are able to be open and honest in their relationships and be able to receive their partner in a way that they can show up more and more themselves and less the expectation of what someone might think their role should be. You know, I think there's a lot of friction in our lives and in our relationships because we're trying to figure out, like, okay, cool, I know this is what I'm supposed to be. I'm mom, I'm wife, I'm sister, I'm mother, I'm a CEO, I'm assistant, I'm whatever. But, like, who am I starts to, like, rub up against that, and it's like, well,
Who am I?
how am I really going to do this?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do the show because I wanted to give license to people to start asking themselves more real questions about who they are and what they want in their relationship, and to show an example, to provide an example of what can happen if you are willing to love your partner unconditionally.
Okay.
You know? I'm not saying because you said, you know, I'll be interested in a threesome that we got to be polyamorous. I'm certainly not saying that. But, like, what would happen? How could you show up for one another? How could you better support each other if you could say, hey, I'm thinking I may be into this. Or, hey, I was thinking when you do this to me, I don't really like it.
Yeah.
Or when you do this on anniversaries, I could do that on regular Tuesdays too. You know, what would happen if we were able to be more honest and more open? And so Couple to Thruple was an extension of that, an effort in that. And we have 4 couples come down to Panama, y'all, who were like, okay, we're going to date another partner. Everything you could imagine could go wrong went wrong.
I love it. That's good TV, though.
It's so good. But at one point I was like, what? Y'all, there are cameras over there. They can see y'all right now.
Hey, we can see you,
You
friend.
know?
We can see you.
And I'm telling you, like, people ask, like, how involved did you get? There was a couple who we had a series or an episode about boundaries and about protocol in bed. And how when you know the protocol, you can have a better experience, right? And so safe words were a part of that journey. And one of the couples used my name
They wanted you to be part of the
as
throuple.
their safe word. They'd ask me.
They asked you to be part of the throuple?
They'd ask me to be a part of the
Is this
throuple.
on the show? This is all aired on the show?
No, this is behind the
Bruh,
scenes.
you putting the good part behind the scenes.
You getting the
Exclusive. I mean,
but
thank you, but I want to see. That's good TV.
they actually asked me. They were like, "Hey, so your name keeps coming up in a lot of our interviews with the cast. If you could just maybe play more background
Oh.
when it comes to the cast members."
Oh.
Y'all know what that means. Until the rap party, that would be great.
Oh.
I said, well, when is the rap party? It was, I got involved. I
Wait.
got,
How involved?
not hands-on.
Okay, just checking. I just wanted clarification. I just wanted clarification.
Yeah, how involved?
I just wanted, okay.
You said when you say involved.
When you say involved, what
when
exactly?
you say, no, I mean, I wanted to ensure that they felt supported. I wanted
Okay.
to ensure that people felt like they had a real resource. I had my own experiences in non-monogamy, and I wanted to show up in all the ways I wish I had had someone show up for me. And so it was, it's 10 episodes available on Peacock right now.
I'm about to go download that
Yo,
tonight,
you
unless
do
it's
it.
raining.
You get it when it's raining?
No.
You can get it-
No. See, if it's raining, then I'm gonna stay in. But if it's not raining, then I'm gonna be outside. You gonna be
Oh,
outside.
I see what you're saying.
Everybody be outside.
Yeah.
But when I leave Miami,
Yeah.
then I'll
Put it on the iPad for your travel.
There we boom.
There you
there
go.
We go. There
It
we
is
go.
an experience. It is certainly unlike anything I've ever seen on television.
Okay.
And yeah,
I can't wait to watch.
Come on.
So on Peacock.
Peacock.
One season.
One
We
season.
getting a second season.
We gonna see.
Okay.
We gonna see.
Maybe we all go watch.
That part. If you all go watch,
Boom.
then maybe
There
we
we
can
go.
talk about another season.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Excellent, my friend. Well, they're giving me the wrap up. Y'all wrapping me up at all the good parts.
Listen.
Okay.
Couple of the Thruple.
Okay.
On Peacock.
Thank you, my love.
You are the bomb.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. All right. Y'all all right? That'd be all right if it was for me, but it's for yourself. I said, y'all all right? That's more like it. Give some love to Demetria right now, please.
You're the best.
I see away luggage a lot when I travel. As much as I love its looks, I prefer soft side suitcases and always wished Away made one. Well, guess what? Now they do. This suitcase seriously looks better than any old school soft side suitcases I've seen and is designed to be lighter than others on the market. Soft side comes in 4 of their best-selling sizes and tried and true colors. And there's something for everyone in the lineup. 2 carry-on sizes, 2 check sizes, 4 colors, black, blue, pink, my favorite, and gray. Made from high-strength nylon, the bag is tear-resistant, as well as weather-resistant. I spilled a little coffee on one this morning and can confirm the claim holds up. The bag is soft but not sensitive, super durable, flexible, and expandable. Bonus points for the compression pad system that helps you pack it all in and the anti-tipping stabilizer that holds the bag steady while expanded, both of which are proprietary to Away. I love my Away luggage and I can get so much in there without having to sit on my suitcase to get it closed. You gotta check out the new soft side luggage from Away. Head on over to awaytravel.com/ratchet. That's awaytravel.com/ratchet to see the new soft side luggage from Away. awaytravel.com/ratchet.
We have an amazing guest. She's one of my favorite people. We met, Jessica Nabongo. We met in 2018, I think, in Barbados. Let me bring her to the stage first. That's the best thing to do. But let me give her an official entrance first, like that's proper, or intro. Jessica Nabongo is a writer, photographer, travel expert, entrepreneur, and public speaker who has traveled to over 195 countries and 10 territories. She has literally been everywhere. Okay. She is the first Black woman to travel to every country in the world, and she is the author of Catch Me If You Can, One Woman's Journey to Every Country in the Whole World. Welcome to the stage, Jessica Nabongo.
Next time you are stuck in Detroit, give me a call and I will give you the best itinerary ever.
You weren't in Detroit. You were here.
I know, but I got people
But you-
there. I would have set you up. You would have ate well. You would have seen some art. It would have been good.
Y'all do have. My mom is from Detroit.
Okay.
So like, I could have. It wasn't the ordeal I made it out to be on Instagram. There's some dramatic effect for
I know.
storytelling purposes.
For
Everybody
dramatic
in here
effects.
than
Yeah.
entertainment film. You get it. But girl, how are you?
I'm good.
I haven't seen you in.
Um,
Well, one, you ain't never
pre-COVID,
around because you're
pre-COVID.
everywhere.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen you since like I don't know if it was your first time in Barbados. I think you were circling back. But
I think it was my second time.
Okay.
It was my second time in Barbados.
Okay, and you were hanging out at the Crane Hotel.
Yes.
And I was there hosting a group of
Yes,
women.
yes,
And you were
yes.
just happened to be there.
Yeah.
And I was like,
No, that was my first time. It was my first time.
Okay.
Yep, I remember exactly. It was my first time.
Okay. Is Barbados one of your faves?
I love Barbados.
How
In the
many
Caribbean
times?
for sure.
How many times have you been?
I've been twice.
Okay.
I want to go to Crop Over, but I feel like I aged out.
You feel like you aged out of crop over? I feel like when I see pictures, I see people of every age and every shape
I know,
and every.
but I ain't
yeah.
got the stamina.
Oh, the stamina. So yeah,
I can't.
You just maybe like a day party situation.
Maybe a day part.
Like a 12 to 6 or a 12 to 4.
12 to 2. Whatever.
12 to 2. Okay. I don't know what the stamina is. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, I have so many questions. Like I want logistics things, all those. But like, what makes you decide one day, I think I want to go see every country in the whole wide world? I think that's everybody's question. Like, girl, you been everywhere?
Yes. Okay. You want the real story?
Of course I want the real story.
Or like the GMA story or
No,
something?
not
the
the
real
GMA
story.
story.
Okay,
No,
okay.
GMA.
Okay. There's the real story. So in 2017, I was in Bali with one of my homegirls, and I was reviewing my life. And, I've had a pretty good life, right? Like, I graduated early from undergrad, Dean's List, magna cum laude. I worked for the world's #1 pharmaceutical company.
I love how you say these things so casually, as if they're like,
Got promoted 3 times in 2 years before I quit.
Okay.
I did my master's degree at the London School of Economics. I graduated with honors. I worked for the United Nations for a number of years. And I was like, I mean, it's cool. Like, it's great. It's really amazing, right?
Okay.
But I was like, so many other people have done that. I don't feel like it's remarkable.
You
I
don't
was
think
like,
that's remarkable, the things that you just listed?
well, but so many people have done it.
How many people?
Tens of thousands.
Other done all the things that you listed?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's more like 10.
Maybe not one person, all of those, but I
Yeah.
was like,
It
at
wasn't
the time-
enough for you.
It wasn't enough
You
for
wanted
me.
more.
Let me say
Okay.
that. For
All right,
me.
that's fine.
For me. And I said to my friend, I said, I want Oprah to interview me. And
Okay.
she said, why would Oprah interview you? I said, I don't know. I'm going to figure something out. And the crazy thing is, at that time, there was an American woman who had just made news because she claimed to be the first woman to do it, and it came out later she wasn't. She was like the first woman who had like recorded it or something.
Okay.
But I was like, hey, internet rabbit hole, how many people have been to every country in the world? Who's been to every country in the world? And it was mostly like Northern European men and one black guy, Slawek Maturi, who's half Kenyan, half Polish. He's done it, and we've met, and since we've become friends, he's almost done it 3 times now. He'll be the first person to go to every country in the world 3 times. I will never do that. Okay. So I had always wanted to go to every country in the world. I thought I would do it by the time I was like 40 or 50. And in Bali in 2017, I was like, I'm gonna do it by my 35th birthday, and I'm gonna be the first black woman to do it. And I did it. I overshot my birthday by 5 months, but it worked out because I did it on my dad's birthday. So yeah, it still counts, and I was still 35.
It still counts.
So yeah, that's the actual story.
I love that.
And Indonesia was number 60, so I was already pretty well traveled.
Okay.
Yeah.
What sparks your love for travel?
It's my curiosity. Okay. I'm just a very curious person, so I'm like, I want to know what everything is like everywhere.
Are your parents like that? Because I know your parents are from Uganda.
Yeah.
You grew up in Detroit.
Yep.
And I read that you got your passport, your first one, you're like 4?
Yeah.
You know how many Americans don't have a passport?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
What is the percentage on that? Because somebody Google that. I want to say
It used to be around like 30, but since, I don't know if you guys remember, we used to not need a passport to go to Canada and the Caribbean and Mexico. George W. Bush changed that, and so now way more people have passports because of Mexico, the Caribbean, and Canada. But before that, it was about 30. I think it's probably around like 55 or something like that now.
Okay, it's like half.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Because, okay.
I mean, I meet people who've never left. I met someone here that's never been outside of the country.
That's amazing. Do you have a favorite country that you go to over and over again?
No, I don't have favorites, but because I've been to 55 countries more than once.
Okay.
So
those
it's
are
a whole
obviously
bunch
places
of
that you
those,
like.
yeah.
Are there places that you would never go to again?
I don't really like talking.
You don't want to be a hater. That's fine. That's fine.
Because I feel like every country is someone's favorite.
Okay. That's a very diplomatic answer.
Moldova and Belarus.
Really? Why?
I'm such a people person, and they just weren't super warm. And some people are like, oh, because it's Eastern Europe. I'm like, no, because like I love Serbia, I love Montenegro. There's a bunch of Eastern European countries that I love. I had a ball in Russia, and I was solo. But it's just those 2 in particular, our energy was not aligned.
Okay.
So I don't wish to go back anytime soon.
I'm terrified to go to Russia.
Why?
Because of Brittany Griner? It's not necessarily, it's kind of fair.
But that was targeted,
I mean,
right? Like, she had been working in Russia for years.
Yeah.
Like, that was targeted because they were like, we want our arms dealer back. Who can we take in exchange? And they swiped her up.
I'm still good on it.
Don't travel with drugs, guys.
I mean, obviously.
Like, that's
But the
the
thing
moral
is,
of
though,
the story is
don't
let's
travel with
not
drugs.
travel with drugs, okay?
Okay, so you could say that, and I could say that, and everyone else could say that, and yet and still, people always travel with drugs.
So how can you honestly be mad? I mean, we don't have to go all the way down this road.
Yeah.
But like, okay, the whole thing that happened in North Korea, right? They're like, oh my God, they killed this man. Why did you rip the poster off the wall in North Korea?
So yes, but also,
But
it's
why
an
did you
excessive-
rip the poster off the wall?
Yes, but I think a lot of people who are not accustomed to travel don't consider that the rules that exist in America aren't necessarily the rules other places. This may seem very, very obvious, but evidently people don't consider it.
Well, yeah, and I think, when people talk about the arrogance of Americans abroad, it's because Americans think my government will get me out of this. You are in North Korea, you dummy. You are, I'm not calling her that, but you're in Russia. You're in countries that are not friendly to the United States. Let me tell you what I'm not doing. I'm following all of the rules.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. I might act up at home.
I might act up in Mexico. I might act up in Barbados. Places that are...
I don't international jail. I will not risk it. I'm straight and narrow.
Same.
For most part.
I'd be a little wavy. But yeah, I just feel like I spent 6 days in North Korea. I'm not ripping a poster off the wall in North Korea. I'm just not doing it.
How was North Korea?
It was really interesting. I think the most interesting part about North Korea was like how normal it felt. Like seeing people taking engagement pictures, seeing like little kids on field trips, seeing like couples in the park. It was just like, oh, they're just like us.
I feel like that's the most interesting part about everywhere, because there's the stereotype of what it is, and then you get there, and then people are just pretty normal and do the exact same things. Like,
and I
worldwide.
think especially what I love about you and your platform is like, because you've been living abroad, and like you're showing people like, I can just live a regular life in another country.
Like I go to the nail salon.
Yeah.
Like I get my lashes done. Like
exactly, because a lot of people can't even conceive of it, and I love that you've like lived in many different countries now. So yeah, that's dope.
Have you lived anywhere other than the States?
Yeah, I lived in Japan. I've lived in Benin. I've lived in Italy, and I lived in the UK.
Okay. Do you have a favorite amongst those? I'm trying to get a favorite out of you.
I know people be trying. Michael Strahan tried. He couldn't do it.
He's like, you could try.
Amongst those, I really love Japan. And me and Italy have a love-hate relationship because she be a little racist sometimes, but not so much so that I won't go back. So I go to Italy every year.
Do you find Italy more racist than the U.S.?
No.
Have you found any place more racist than the U.S.?
No.
Okay. Because I say it and nobody listens. Like, I say it and people are like,
child, in the internet. People who don't know nothing be trying to tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, one thing Malcolm X said, and I put it in my book, my National Geographic. She's 2 years old today.
Is she? Congratulations.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So, yeah, because the thing is, number one, I've never had a cop pull a gun on me point blank range anywhere in the world, but it happened here in Miami.
Yeah.
So like, that's not happening anywhere else. You know what I mean? But in the book I wrote, because Malcolm X said, basically, the greatest trick that America did to black people was convincing black people, no matter how bad it is here, it's worse anywhere else.
Yeah.
That is a lie.
It's not, yeah.
It is a lie. It's actually better. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel more free. I've traveled to over 90 countries solo, and like I'm unmistakably black. You know what I mean? I can't pass for nothing else. I'm not ambiguous. Like you look at me, you're like, that is an African. Period. You know what I mean? Like that's an African. And I will say, like, one of the biggest lessons I learned from visiting every country in the world is that most people are good. Like the journey was made beautiful because of strangers. Yeah. Like they had to keep me safe. Like even being in Moscow by myself, and and then the other thing, and I know you get this, people be on the internet trying to displace their fear on you.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, be safe. I did a road trip to like Nebraska, Iowa, South, North Dakota, and people are like, oh my God, be safe. I'm like, the corn is gonna get me?
Yeah.
Because like, I'm not afraid of people.
Yeah.
And if you're not afraid of people, what is there to be afraid of?
Well, I think it's a fear of people, yes, but I think it's a fear of doing something different. Like a lot of people just don't want to get out of their comfort zone. I mean, and I get it because it's comfortable. A lot of people don't want to be uncomfortable. They don't want to rely on strangers. They don't want to rely solely on themselves or just their inner circle. Like I get it to some degree.
And I feel like travel helps you to learn how to rely on others and to rely on yourself.
Mm-hmm. What's the biggest lesson that travel has taught you? I mean, I'm sure you could write a whole book just about that.
Honestly, I think most people are good. I would say most people are good. And I say that because it's important. I think that, the internet will try to confuse you and think everybody's racist, everybody's misogynist, everybody's transphobic, Islamophobic, anti-Semitic, all of the things, right? Yeah. But when you really think about your lived experience, you're not experiencing that on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like, I don't come in, can I cuss?
Yes, it's
okay. I don't come into contact with an asshole every day. You know what I mean? And it's like, also, you have to put out that energy. This TSA guy tried me the other day, and I was just like, have a beautiful day. You know, because he wanted to see the ugly side of me, but I wouldn't let him. You know what I mean? I think so much of it is like the energy that we carry. And the other lesson I would say I learned is that we're more similar than we are different. Like, it doesn't matter the language, the culture, whatever. Like, we all want the same things. We all need food, clothing, shelter. We're all just humans. So once you strip everything away, it's like, and you can just look at someone as a human and not care about gender, economics, da-di-da-di-da-di-da, then we can all just love each other and live in a better world.
I also think the majority of people just don't care. Like, they're minding their business.
They literally don't care.
They literally don't care. Like, you're like, oh, like a tourist. Like, it registers the same way as you see
Tourist?
people in Times Square. Like, no one
Oh,
cares.
a tourist.
Tourist, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Taurus.
Like a...
The bull.
No.
I'm like, I'm a Taurus too. Okay.
Like, I'm a Cancer.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Okay.
Now we've gone left. It's okay. Gosh, you made me lose my train of thought. It's okay.
Most people don't care.
No. Has there ever been a time when you're traveling where you're we moved past people who don't care, where you've been fearful of something, where you're just, I don't know. I'm thinking specifically. I had an incident when I was in Mozambique. Like, this guy followed me. Actually, that's not true. He found my hotel room and popped up on me and scared the living shit out of me. And like, I still have issues from it. But it's just, and I remember when it happened, I wrote about it online, and a lot of people were like, go home, like, just stop traveling, go home. And I was like, what is that gonna do? Because it's not like a Mozambique thing. It's not like it's something that couldn't happen in the States. But have you ever had something, I don't know, that just sort of like shook you while you're traveling?
So besides the cop pulling a gun on me in Miami, which obviously gave me PTSD, because I'm Ugandan. We didn't grow up with gun culture in my home.
Yeah.
So I had never seen a gun in my life. And the first time I see it, literally, it's in my face, point blank range.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was down here. The second time, I was in Paris, and I was on the RER going from the city out to the airport, and I was kind of falling asleep, so I'm like, let me play my game to just keep me awake. And I saw this guy, like, get out, and he, like, when the train is like, ding, he reached in to try and snatch my phone, but I had it in a tight grip, and he didn't get it. But when I tell you, I could not take public transportation. I was living in Rome at the time. I could not take public transportation for months.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, and it's probably not going to happen again, but you do have that thing. And I remember being so mad because for me, I moved through the world with a freedom, and some could say naivete. I just think all good things will happen to me. And it shook me, and I hated it because I was like, dang, like I was so scared just like walking out of my house for probably like 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
I've gotten past it. It was years ago. And then the last thing that happened was actually in Rome. A taxi driver tried to kiss me in my mouth. It was horrible. I was with 5 friends, and I was the last one to be dropped off. And he reached back over the seat and tried to kiss me, and I was just like, ah! And then I ran out of the car. It was horrible. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, I got past that too. Therapy.
Okay.
Therapy works.
Yeah, travel, that's the other side that people don't always talk about. Like, it's exposing yourself to more things exposes you to more crazy sometimes. Yeah.
But I mean, those are 3 things, right? In a life of, I've been to every country, every continent, every U.S. state, and it's literally those 3 things. Like, so, and whenever people ask me this, they're like, what happened in Afghanistan? Were you scared, or North Korea, or Iraq, or Sudan? And I'm like, no,
People
literally Paris,
business.
Rome, and Miami.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no one tells me be safe when I'm going to Miami or be safe when I'm going to Paris. But I'm like, I'm going to Omaha. Girl, be safe.
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing to people in Omaha?
Yeah. You know what my mother's country was? That I go everywhere. Like, I was like, Mommy, I'm moving to Ghana. And she was like, fine. Like, Mommy, I'm going to Sao Tome. She's like, I've never heard of it, but have a great time. Like, when I was like,
beautiful.
I'm going to Amsterdam. And so she was like, oh my God, Demetria, don't do drugs. And I was like, I was like, there are other things to do. Like they have canals, they have amazing art. Like they have some of the best art in the world. Like the masters are there, the Dutch masters. And she was like, well, why would you go there, Demetria? They have drugs. And I was like, Mommy, like I lived in New York. Nothing. I moved to New York when I was 22. She didn't say anything.
Lots of drugs.
Lots of drugs. I moved to LA, like brunch conversation.
All of the drugs.
All the drugs. And
At
I was
brunch.
like, at brunch. I was like, they're talking
a line
about
on the table.
cocaine and shrooms at brunch. Like this is LA culture, right? And the whole city smells like weed. I live there, so like you live there. We're gonna ask you about that too, because you're next. Like. But yeah, I'm just like, but Amsterdam was the one that just set her over the edge. And I was like, and even if that, I'm like, Mommy, it's known for weed, if nothing else. Like, I mean, there's other stuff, but it's known for weed, of all the other drugs. And she was like, but just don't do drugs, Demetria, don't do drugs. And I was like, I'm gonna start a drug habit at like 43. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Larry.
What are your parents, like, I'm assuming they're fine with the travel at this point. They're
My father passed
Okay, I'm
years
sorry.
ago. But my mom, she finally gave up. She's a very religious woman, so.
But your mom moved from like Uganda to
Yeah.
Detroit. Like, clearly she travels. Like,
Right. Oh, yeah. And I mean, the reason I travel is because my parents love to travel. They love to travel. And I think she probably caused herself so much anxiety thinking about me and where I was. So I think now she's sort of like released it. But she also goes to church at least twice a week. So.
Does she ever travel with you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Where does she go?
Her and my sister came to Japan. We've been to the UK. We've done Seychelles.
She'd be
we've done like
outside.
Jamaica, Mexico. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, she wants to go to Belize. She don't even know why, but she's like, "Can we go to Belize?" I'm like,
The same reason you went to
"Okay."
Belize. She wanted to go to Belize.
I'm like, "Okay, we'll go. Cool."
Maybe she thought, wasn't it Shines in Belize?
I randomly had dinner with him 3 days ago.
I love your life.
Isn't that so random?
Yes, how was
Literally,
he?
I got to dinner and my friend's like, okay, this is Minami and this is Shine. I was like, what?
What?
This is so random. Yeah, it was Tuesday night. So random.
I've been thinking about him a lot lately.
Okay.
I mean, no, not for like, I know how that came out.
Yeah.
But no, because
think
of
he's
like,
married, but
you know, his former boss was in the news. And I just
If you think I wasn't all up and down on Google after that, like.
I was like, somebody in that whole camp is going to talk at some point. You know, like somebody's going to crack.
And
then
he
it'll
did
all...
a 10-year bid, apparently
yeah.
for only $1 million.
I read that.
I'm like, are you
read that.
insane?
And I was like, bruh, that was at least like 10, 20. Like
$100,000 a year? That was all you wanted?
I mean,
ain't no way.
It was the 90s,
Ain't no way.
inflation. I don't.
Maybe.
No, they were like, no, it wasn't that long ago. No, okay.
I mean, $100K might have felt different in 1999.
I mean, not that different.
Okay.
Still, I'm like,
I mean,
at
I
least
wouldn't
10
have done
mil. At least 10 mil. All right, they're giving me the wrap it up signal. I could do this all day.
could too.
Will you come back to the podcast? We'll do like a full hour in the chat.
Yes.
I would love that.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Let's go see some world.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank
You've been
you,
amazing.
Demetria.
And where can people get your book?
Anywhere books are sold.
Anywhere books are sold. Are you working on another one?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
sure. Always say yes.
You know contracts, child.
I mean-
but yes, we're very close to the finish line. So it's called Catch Me in the Kitchen. It's a global cookbook.
Okay.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah. I can't wait to read. Thank you, my love.
Today's episode is brought to you by Angie. Angie has made it easier than ever to connect with skilled professionals to get all your jobs and projects done well. Let me tell you, there's the version of it where you try to do something at home, and then there's a version of it where you have someone help you, you watch them do it the right way, and you go, thank God I didn't try to do that myself. I have fully done things around the home that I think look good, and then a bang in the night, and I wake up to a shelf collapsing, a painting falling off the wall. Like I've seen it all go south. I own a home, and I can tell you, I know how much work it can take. Whether it's everyday maintenance and repairs or making dream projects a reality, it can be hard just to know where to start. But now all you need to do is Angie that and find a skilled local pro who will deliver the quality and expertise you need. Whatever your home project, big or small, indoor or outdoor, you can Angie that and connect with skilled professionals to get the project done well. Right now, one of my wish lists is I want a bike for my condo in Milwaukee, and I would love to rig it up on a pulley in the ceiling because I have one of those like lofted ceilings, but I'm so scared to try that on my own. Angie has 20 years of home experience, and they've combined it with new tools to simplify the whole process. Bring them your project online or with the Angie app. Answer a few questions and Angie can handle the rest from start to finish, or help you compare quotes from multiple pros and connect instantly. which means you can take care of any home project in just a few taps. Because when it comes to getting the most out of your home, you can do this when you Angie that. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
I am very excited to bring to the stage Ingrid Best. She is the founder of IBest Wines, her namesake wine brand that she launched in October 2023. It consists of 2 beautiful blends from South Africa. And prior to that, she was an executive at Diageo, Moet Hennessy, Bacardi, and others. Please welcome Ingrid Best to the stage. Hello, Ingrid.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How
Welcome
are
to
you?
Ratchet and Respectable.
I'm so happy to be here. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Good to see
I love
y'all.
your
Hey,
shoes. They
hey.
sold out immediately.
They did
Just
sell out
FYI.
fast.
Like, I tried to stalk them from South Africa.
Yes,
and-
yes, South Africa.
Yes. You love South Africa like I love
Absolutely
South Africa.
love South Africa.
I read that you went to South Africa the first time and you went out to Stellenbosch wine country and you were like, oh, I think I want to do some wine. Was it really that simple?
It was that simple.
Oh my gosh. You and Jessica.
Yeah, it was that simple. I had been in the wine and spirits business for years, had traveled the world, thought I knew everything there was to know about wine, and landed in South Africa, opened up a menu at a restaurant, and there was all this South African wine listed, and incredible wine, and I became obsessed. I was like, there's wine in South Africa, I'm gonna go to the wine region. So I then took a trip to the wine region and discovered one of the most beautiful places in the world that most of us don't know about. And it is the South African wine region.
Yeah, I feel like South Africa in general, but especially South African wine, is like one of like the world's best kept secrets. Like the people who know, but then the people who don't are just like, South Africa, it's like Johannesburg and Nelson Mandela. And I'm like, and wine.
And wine.
And wine.
Yeah.
Good wine.
Great wine.
Inexpensive wine, too.
Yeah, I mean, I think here's the deal. South Africa's been producing wine for over 300 years. It is one of the most beautiful, premier wine regions in the world. And in the U.S., very underrepresented. Most U.S. consumers don't know about South African wine. People all over the world do know about South African wine.
Yeah.
So part of my why is to educate consumers that there is beautiful wine coming from Africa.
Okay, so you get to South Africa, you go out to wine country, you see the wine farms, the wineries, you see the mountains, you see the beauty of everything, and you think to yourself, I want to market this, I want to sell this, I want my own winery. Like, what exactly goes through your head?
Yeah, so I had spent 20 years in wine and spirits, working for a lot of big companies, working on a lot of big brands, and I always had an ambition in my head and my heart to launch my own brand.
Okay.
I love wine, so naturally for me, I'm like, do what you love. Don't do what you don't love, right? And I think it was, discovering something. I wanted to allow people to also discover something, right? So most people that I talk to, they're like, South Africa? And so it allows you to go on this journey with them that's so beautiful of discovery. And yeah, it was literally meeting with farmers during harvest, meeting with young students at Stellenbosch University who were going to get their winemaking degree. I said, this is what I'm gonna do. This is how I'm gonna launch my brand.
You know, I love that you make something that is incredibly difficult and incredibly complex and just like a big dream idea that you're just like, yeah, like I really loved wine. So I thought maybe, I'm like, I really love wine, but I never thought about like, you know what? I should go out to South Africa and I should start making some wine. Like that's just not the way my mind works. And I love that your mind does work that way.
Yeah, it requires a lot of audacity and courage, but it also was, again, all the years that I had spent working for big companies really prepared me to do it. And I always like to tell people there's a lot of folks who are interested in wine and spirits, and it is a fantastic and diverse industry, but you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so a big part of why I was able to do it the way that I've done it is because I had spent basically 20 years mastering, this industry. It is not an easy industry, and there are a lot of things that still need to change by way of diversity, opportunities for Black and brown folks. So that's also some of the work that IBest Wines is dedicated to.
Yeah, I was reading statistics earlier about wineries in America and in South Africa. It's the same, like less than 1% of the wineries are owned by Black people, Black women. I'm sure it's like 0.00 something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, very low representation. It's been an industry that's had a lot of gatekeeping. It is also an industry that is owned by families, and so there's a lot of that legacy inheritance, handing it down, which we haven't been a part of, right? And so, again, that's why IBest Wines was so important for me. It's my namesake. It allows me to, right, cement my legacy in the industry that I've been in for many years. The 5 women who I tapped to build the brand with me all have equity in the brand. So in the 20 years that I did all this work at the highest level, I never had equity in anything. I never owned anything. And so for me, this is an opportunity to rewrite the way we look at building brands.
And your partners are all Black women?
All Black women.
And you have a sommelier is also Black woman? I love that.
Yeah.
You was like, we're going to get some Black women. We're going to change these percentages single-handedly.
Yeah,
I love
know,
it.
and I think the biggest thing that I always like to say is, yes, they're all Black women, but they're all badass business women.
Who
First,
also happen.
who happen to be Black. And I'm really blessed to have them, believe in this dream, because this really was a dream, y'all. I'm a bet on myself. I had to be extremely audacious, and I've had to have a lot of resilience, right, to do it. But these women were like, oh, you want us to do this? Let's go, right? And so for me, the goal is to show other people that you can do it this way. I've always thought about, this brand, like 1% of something great is better than 100% of something just okay. And what makes the brand so special is that I did build it with other people. So it's exciting.
Yeah. I heard you put up your own money, like your own monies.
Girl.
Like,
Is this a fundraising event? Pass the plate. I did. I believe in this so much, and I believe in myself, and I believe in the consumer, right? I believe consumers want to know about new things. They want to be in a discovery, and so, I put all my capital into building this brand, and I've been blessed, to make good decisions in my career, the roles that was in, real estate, art collecting, stocks. So, it took a lot of pulling from different places to get the capital to do it, because it's not an easy business to start up. But I funded this 100% myself, and then the first 5 investors in the brand, all Black women.
I love that.
Yeah.
They were like, we see a good thing. We
Oh,
in,
yeah,
sis.
they like, we in.
We in. Like,
Yeah.
we like wine, too.
Yeah, for sure. So it's exciting.
Did you find the business welcoming?
The wine and spirits business has a lot of work to do as it relates to diversity. Many of us see really big brands. We're typically the consumer. Behind those brands, you don't see a lot of people that look like us working on the brands in leadership roles, on boards, you name it. And, for myself, I had to fight to navigate and to grow in this industry. But I'm very relentless. So, and I've been able to pull some, younger talent into different roles to, again, just try to create opportunities for people in the industry. So the answer is no.
Okay.
But like with anything, right, the no is a yes to me. I look at no's as like, okay, now I need to double down even more to make my mark in this industry. It has a lot of work to do.
Yeah. I saw that you had, I don't know if it's a mentor or a friendship with Danae.
Danae Burstyn.
Yes, from Lafayette. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you said that he was very receptive in when you were putting your ideas together.
So Danae and I actually both worked at LVMH together. He worked on Dom Perignon. I worked on a bunch of different brands, Hennessy, Belvedere, the wines and champagnes. And we became family at LVMH. And he went on to launch his own brand and has been extremely helpful in, me navigating the world of the brand being launched less than a year ago. So, what I will say, because I want to go back to has it been difficult? It's been difficult, but you see more and more examples of people doing it, right? So Fawn Weaver, right? She's absolutely a unicorn in the space and what she's been able to do. Danae, obviously the McBride sisters, myself. And, I think the biggest message for me is that, we're all Black folks, but more than that, we are business people. We are business leaders. And the biggest thing I think we're trying to fight is not being boxed into just being black-owned brands, but we're luxury brands, we're beautiful brands, we're innovative brands, and we need to take up as much space as all those other brands that you see in the on the shelves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I love that because I was just living in Cape Town for about 2.5 months.
I love that.
And it's
Cape
good
Town,
life.
Cape Town. You guys all need to
Like
travel
if you
there.
haven't been, go. And
Yes.
it's cheap, y'all. And it's cheap. The flight is long, but it's beautiful and it's very, very worth it. And it's the opposite season. So if it's like December here, well, not here, but December, if it's cold where you are, it's lovely over
Yeah.
there. But when I was there, I went out to Stellenbosch, and everyone kept saying, like, did you go, Ingrid, the black girl with the wine? And I was like, who is Ingrid, the black girl with the wine? They're like, Ingrid, does she have a winery? Like, get some wine from Ingrid. So the word is spreading.
Yeah.
Like, and it's spreading in a good way. So
Thank
people
you.
are talking about it. People are wanting to drink Ingrid's wine. They don't call it IBest. They call it Ingrid's
It's
wine.
hilarious. Well, because to do this, I all but moved to South Africa, and it was really important for me to be there. And you talked about that flight being long. The flight attendants would say, "Here's the wine lady. She's back again on the flight," because I was spending so much time going back and forth. But specifically to the community in South Africa, it was so important for me to plant my roots. I didn't want to just be the American that was coming to take the wine.
Yeah.
And so it warms my heart to hear you say that people were saying my name to you.
Yeah.
Because I never wanted this to be about what I could go there and take to do here, but what could we do collectively to talk about the South African wine region.
Yeah.
And so it's been fantastic. We've had just incredible support from the community in South Africa. The wine is available in South Africa, which is also amazing. So we are a global brand, but that's home for me. It feels like home. Yeah.
It feels like home in the best of ways in South Africa, and also like in other ways that like you think you're escaping from America, but it's also very familiar, especially in Cape Town. For those of you who've not been, South Africa, well, it's like got a history of apartheid, and it's got some unique racial issues. One of them for me is that clearly I'm a black woman in America, right? I identify as a black woman. My identity is very much as a black woman. I push everything that I do to represent and speak, be what's it called, like a microphone for black women, for voices that are not heard, right? But then I get to South Africa, and I ain't black no more. And I'm just like, it's a real, we can edit it, mind fuck. Because I'm like, what do you mean I'm not a black woman? Like, so like I'm colored, right? Did you encounter any of that where you're just like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned this because I was watching a clip. Tyla,
Yes.
the incredible artist from South Africa, was recently interviewed on a radio station, and the interviewer wanted to get into the race conversation, the culture conversation, and here's what I'll say. For black folks in America, obviously the word colored is triggering for us. That is our reality.
Yes.
And so the time that I've spent in South Africa, they view me as colored. And I take an opportunity whenever I've been called colored to be like, I consider myself black, right? So you take the opportunity to educate from my lens and where I sit, this is what I consider myself. The flip side of that is that we also have to respect how they view what colored means to them, especially black people, black South Africans. And so Tyla had this really unfortunate thing happen where like you could tell she was very uncomfortable to just answer the way that she likely would have just answered. And it's because I don't think we give each other the space to just talk about from my lens and from my background, this is what colored means. And so, yeah, in South Africa, I am viewed as a colored woman. You would be viewed as a colored woman. And I've just always taken it as an opportunity to educate why, for me, that feels off, right? But with no judgment to the fact that that is a reality there. And I think you make a great point. There's a lot of things that South Africa has in common with the U.S. experience because of apartheid.
Yeah.
And it is tough to be somewhere where you're looking at the majority have no control.
Yeah.
They are the majority. Black South Africans are emphatically the majority, just like we the majority.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. Overwhelmingly majority. I want to say like South Africa's like 95% Black, if I recall.
Yeah.
But it's also like 1% of the country holds something like 95% of the wealth. It's mostly based in Cape Town and parts thereabout. Yeah, but they've got a similar economic situation and racial situation. But I'm
Yeah.
glad you mentioned Tyler.
Yeah.
Because that's where I was going next. If
Yeah.
you didn't
Yeah, and
specifically
I
bring it up.
literally
Yeah.
I reached out to some friends and I said, you know, I want to wrap this young lady in love.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, here she is to talk about her music and her experience as an entertainer, and I don't think in no way, shape, or form is she trying to deny anything.
Yeah.
You know, she has her reality and her experience, and you know, Jessica mentioned the U.S. is very racist. You know, we are so anchored in this conversation of race that it is jarring other places. Not to say that there isn't racism in other places, but it can be jarring. We have a lot of PTSD.
Yeah. And I
A lot.
think that's important to say because I think because it's so jarring here, and I think because we have so much PTSD here, we sometimes can't, well, not sometimes, oftentimes can't see the experience of other people.
Right.
Which is often very, very similar to ours, you know, to our situation, but we just get sort of caught in it. So,
Yeah. No, it's interesting. And, you know, I had someone ask me a question and they were like, you know, why do people sometimes, you know, say like South Africa isn't Africa? And I'm like, well, that's because, again, we're all so sometimes polarizing. Yeah. And it just goes too far because South Africa is absolutely Africa. So, you know, but what I will tell you is that the young generation in South Africa is so powerful. And so I don't want to leave this point without saying that even with all those statistics and everything we just talked about, there is a force and an energy that's happening in South Africa that's beautiful to see. And it's important that we go there and we visit and we spend time, and we don't just spend time on what was, we spend time on what we want it to be. And that's what really, for me, IBest Wines represents this just beautiful global conversation, connection, and, you know, this audacity to dream very, very, very big.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank
you
you so much.
Thank you.
You've been amazing.
Thank you.
Yes. Came to talk about wine. Now we're having a whole global conversation.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. Well, thank you. And where can we get your wine?
So IBest Wines, ibestwines.com. So you can buy us online. We are in 5 different markets: California, Florida, New Jersey, Georgia. We just opened up Massachusetts in time for the Martha's Vineyard season, which we're really excited about.
Good
So
job.
anybody,
Good job.
Thank you. I'm so excited about that. So anyone traveling to the vineyard, please look for us. We will be there and a few of the accounts there. But the best place to go is to our website, ibestwines.com. All the information is there on, you know, the stores we're in, the restaurants we're in. The wine, again, white blend, red blend. So we have 2 offerings. We're also working on some innovation in the pipeline, which we're excited about. So
We getting some rosé or some bubbles?
I mean, we might be.
Okay, all right. Just some time, all right, just trying to find out. All right.
Yes.
All right, thank you,
Thank
Ingrid.
you. Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
I know that none of you watch porn, but just in case you have any friends that do, help me pass along this important PSA. Incognito mode does not make you incognito. Check the fine print. All your late night activities are still 100% visible to a ton of third parties, unless you use ExpressVPN. Protect your online privacy today by visiting expressvpn.com/ratchet. That's expressvpn.com/ratchet. And you can get an extra 3 months free. expressvpn.com/ratchet.
Our next guest to the stage, he's like my big brother. I love him so much. Lamman Rucker. He is an actor, educator, activist, entrepreneur. I feel like he's a man that needs no introduction, but I will give him one nonetheless. He keeps a job, so you've seen him in so many places. You may know him from Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married film sequels. You may know him from the hit film and sitcom Meet the Browns and Greenleaf. That was my show. I called it Everybody Hates Gigi. And currently he is the star of Black Hamptons on BET. So please, BET Plus. So please bring Lamman Rucker to the stage. Don't hit your head. Forgot how tall you are. I didn't have to warn anyone else. Hi, babe. How are you?
Good to see you.
It's great to see you again. I saw you at BWI after that long ordeal. Yes, but you got here. I was scared for you to get here too.
Hey, real talk.
Yes,
Didn't make it.
I
Almost didn't.
I know, but God. How are you?
Hold on, I just look back at this wine. There's all kind of stuff.
Don't take my wine. Don't take my wine. We had Ingrid. Ingrid gave us wine today.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's a whole
Ingrid
nother
was on to
conversation.
talk about wine.
Hey. What's up, everybody?
How are you?
I'm doing great. How you
Good.
doing?
You look great. Did you go out last night?
No.
Really?
No.
Because you texted me. You were like, "Are you outside?" And
I
was
know,
like-
that's why. Well, I was also kind of making sure I wasn't waking you up. You know that like creepy moment where you hitting your friend and you really respectably, like, you awake? Like, am I texting you and you half asleep, or you got company, or you doing but it also sounds creepy, and it's almost like, you up? You right? Especially when it's a male-female relationship.
I didn't even take
So
it like that.
I know, but it's just one of those things. Well, we always have to think about that.
Yeah.
Men always have to just take that moment to be like, all right, is what I'm saying, could this possibly be inappropriate, make her uncomfortable, anything like that?
I appreciate that
you know,
you
I
think
love you,
about
I
it.
trust you, and I know you
Yeah.
can trust me. But it's just that kind of thought. And so now that we're talking about it, I'm just recalling when I was like, you up? I should have actually said it like that. Next time, I'm gonna
thought
send it
you were
like a
outside.
voice note and be like, psst. I'm gonna say it like that next
That's
time.
hilarious.
You're gonna get a creepy little voice note.
That's hilarious.
You up?
You're a mess. But you're good? That's amazing.
Doing great. Can't complain.
Good. Can we talk about your latest show on BET Plus?
Absolutely.
Because
Of
like,
course.
I
Oh
asked
yeah,
you-
we got
yeah,
fans.
we got fans.
Black Hamptons family out here.
Yes.
Okay, you say yes. That's how you know it's serious. But,
Yes.
Yeah, we ain't no ease in the word. Yeah. Well, okay. She made
No,
that.
because I hit you up because I know you come to ABFF every year that you can be
Yeah,
here,
pretty much.
right?
Yeah.
So I hit you up. I thought you would be here, and I didn't even know what you were working on at the time. And you were like, "Oh, I've got Black Hamptons."
Yeah,
I said, "Well,
few
let me go
things.
watch the
Yeah.
show to like support my friend, right?" I binged seasons 1 and
Once
2,
you start,
like all the
you-
way through.
yeah, once
I
you
was
in there-
tired. I had things to do. Like, okay,
Yeah, you gonna
everybody
be
take
up.
their clothes off. Like all the men
Yeah.
in the show, it's
Yeah,
very
we
like
do.
it's like they just
We
walk
do.
in the scene for no reason,
Yeah.
just take their shirt off.
There we go. Still, yeah. Yeah. That one had a little bit more bass. That was one of the, that's okay. One of the guys, that's all good. Well, guys like, yes. But yeah, look, I tease like our younger guys too, because I'm like, yeah, I ain't gotta do that shit no more. You know? So, because you know, they are young little hot boys, right? They the studs, and they love it. They can't wait to take their shirts off. But you know, that's always a little part of this, right? We know, I mean, this is part of being beautiful people, right? This is part of our privilege and being able to do that. But it's also, I mean, it's summertime. It's summertime in the Hamptons. If many of you have never been to Sag Harbor, or any of actually, we have a lot of predominantly black historical enclaves like this throughout the country, actually throughout the world, and people who get around start to know that. We talked about traveling through Africa for extended periods of time as well. So that's what this is about. It's just being out there in the fun and sun, and this is a little bit of the lifestyles of the rich and famous on top of that. But it's beautiful people, got a lot of money, and you know,
And very scandalous.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's a lot of scandal.
You know, we kind of given a little bit of you know, some of that old school. Remember Dynasty and Falcon Crest, and,
Yes.
right? Like I forgot all about that when somebody remember Dallas.
Yes, Dallas. Yes.
So this is kind of like that type of vibe, but it also, without being a soap opera, I've done my time in daytime. You know, it's got a little bit of some of those, you know, elements that we all love about 1 hour prime time or daytime dramas.
No,
so yeah,
it's got intrigue.
trying to
it's got
capture the
good
best
story.
of it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And I love your character on the show. You're, so far, because I don't know where this is going, so far you are a respectable, upstanding man. I haven't seen the final episode of, I don't know how this is going to last. Season 3 is coming.
I always
No,
am.
you wasn't that good in,
I always
on
am.
Greenleaf. You wasn't,
I
no.
always am.
No.
Jacob, yeah.
Jacob
But
treated
that's
that
part
lady,
of-
Clarissa, he
but-
treated that lady bad.
And so did she.
I mean,
That
we
was a
talking about
very
you, we not
abusive
talking
relationship.
about her. That was,
yeah.
y'all really ain't had no
And the
business
abuser was
together.
the wife, not the husband.
You was,
Yeah. We'll
no.
do that podcast next.
No.
No, but that's my point. And this is part of it. This is part of why this work and these conversations is so much fun and why it's dynamic. And this is why many of us do this. It's because these are the conversations we need to have. These are the stories, the issues, the family dynamics, the relationship dynamics, the personal journeys of these characters. Like, we want to live this, see this, and ideally, hopefully, you all learn from what you're seeing us do and go through, where you see yourself, and sometimes you might not like what you see, but that's you. Like, we're trying to tell you, yeah, check yourself, don't do that. Get out of that relationship, or you stop doing that, right? So similarly for Jacob, the fun of that was, showing this man who's a beautiful man, brilliant man, but does not know exactly. Yeah. And that's what I love, having the opportunity, especially through a series. You have so much more time to actually give depth and nuance and sensitivity and vulnerability, and we rarely get to see that much from men. And most male characters are so incredibly underdeveloped that we never get to that level of pulling that veil back to see what's really going on inside that dude. And I'm always happy when characters are already developed imperfectly, and if they're not, I make sure those imperfections are there, because that's the fun of the work too. So any of the good guys y'all ever seen me play, they always have some issues, they always have an edge. He's a great guy and he might be soft and sensitive, but he ain't no bitch, right? Just the same, and if he is a little bit of a bitch, then let's be honest about that. And Jacob was, and that's part of it, is him working through him being a little punk and being a mama's boy and not having his own voice, living in the shadow of his father, having all these women around him. His one son, and he got 3 sisters, right? Like, what does that look like? He's got a teenage daughter. He don't know what he's doing, right? All of that, trying to find his relationship with God, all of these things. And that's the fun. And Anthony Johnson is in a similar place, but he's beyond that, right? From a personal development, standpoint. He's in a much healthier marriage. They have a stronger foundation. His mother didn't tell him, you got to marry her, like Lady Mae did with Jacob, right? It's not an arranged marriage he's in. He's into Sydney. He named his company Sid Tech after his woman, right? So this is about amplifying black men, black women, black family, black excellence, black brilliance. He's an engineer. He's a technician. He's an inventor. He has hundreds of patents, like all this stuff. Like, that's what blackness looks and sounds like too, right? And that's what we're really trying to do, is show that through all this fun storytelling and drama and all that. Let's also, like you said, let's make sure we give depth and nuance and and complexity.
Would you ever play like a straight up villain?
Yeah, and I have. You know what's funny? Anybody ever seen me on the soaps?
I didn't watch the soaps.
All the time. You know what people used to roll up to me and say? Oh my God, I hate you.
Really?
Right? Yeah, and they're like, but I love you.
Really?
Right, so it's like the character you love to hate, right? And again, have my shirt off all the time, all right? But the thing about that was the fun of a lot of feedback that I would also get is people used to be like, ooh, you're so bad. I can't wait to see you play a good guy, right? And now that more people might be exposed to me playing more than the nice guy all the time. Ooh, you'd be a good villain, right? Yes. So, but again, you have to see more breadth and depth of my work. Many of you probably never seen me on stage. So as a theater actor, it's a whole nother level of, depth and dynamic to much of the work that is available to us on stage that it's just not the same seeing it on TV and film. So you'll see more of that there. I just did Streetcar Named Desire, for example. And again, my interpretation. So I did Mitch. I actually turned down Stanley. And I wanted to do Mitch instead because I just thought there was more opportunity emotionally to play and make some different choices. And I can't tell you how many times somebody said, oh my God, I would have never imagined Mitch that way. And I played him. There was something in there where it was like, Mitch might be a little off, And that was fun for me to just follow that instinct and that impulse, like, what if? Yeah. What if this, it's that line where, ooh, like, this guy could either be just very vulnerable and be made a fool out of, but then the way he might respond to being that vulnerable and being made a fool out of, that dude is a little scary. Again, that's the fun of it, is like, this is a really good guy, but based on the emotional, like, depth of what's happening right now, this guy could go off the rails. You can't be afraid to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
You can't be afraid to be, you know, that guy. At the same time, I'm not interested in telling and perpetuating those images of black men that are abusing themselves, killing each other, and abusing and mistreating and dishonoring our women.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
I love that.
My
And
pleasure.
are we getting a season 3 of the Black Hamptons?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's just say yes.
Let's just say yes. Okay.
Officially, they haven't greenlit anything just yet, but we're very confident. They love the show. They love what's been happening, and very importantly, you all are a big part of that. So
Okay.
the more you support it, the more you
we're gonna
download,
tune in
you
'cause we
stream.
want a season 3.
Again, you have a voice, not just based on that activity, but you're posting, you're reposting. Your comments, you're saying, hey, we need to see more of this. Even saying, you better not cancel this show in capital letters, stuff like that. No, seriously, these are the ways that you really make what opportunity you do have to let your voice be heard. You know, absolutely. That's also very important. So based on that support, you all standing up for us, but the network loves what it's, you know, what it sees. Paramount, you know, the studio level loves what kind of money's being generated. So we're doing something good. We'll be back.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for coming by today.
Right. Thank y'all.
I'm Louie, aka the baddest perra.
And I'm Yoatzi.
And we're siblings. We might not be the most intelligent.
Or the smartest.
Or inteligentes.
You just said that.
Oh, yeah. But at least we're pretty. You may have seen our viral challenge videos, Mexican food mukbangs, and family vlogs. But did you know we're also the hosts of the podcast Pretty Not Smart?
On our show, we expose all the chisme in our lives, from our wildest dating stories to childhood feuds to our scary ghost stories.
But don't worry, it's not all drama all the time. We discuss financial hardship, the importance of taking care of your mental health, and our experiences dealing with complicated family relationships.
Because we're siblings, we know each other better than anyone, which means we also know how to beef with each other like it's nobody's business.
Who doesn't love listening in on a little sibling conflict?
We've also had some amazing guests join the show, like YouTubers Adam Ray and Laura Mellado, and so many more.
At the end of the day, I'm happy to be the pretty one and Yoatzi the smart one.
No, it's definitely the other way around.
And who told you that lie?
Ask the audience.
So if you want to hear the juicy perspectives of two pretty siblings, tune into Pretty Not Smart.
Available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everybody, my name is Bob the Drag Queen.
And I'm Monet Exchange.
And we are the hosts of Sibling Rivalry. This is the podcast where two best friends gab and talk smack and have a lot of fun with our black queer selves.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, we are family, so we talk about everything, honey, from why we don't like hugs, to Black Lives Matter, to interracial dating, to other things. Right, Bob?
Yes, and it gets messy, and we are not afraid to be wrong. So please join us over here at Sibling Rivalry, available anywhere you get your podcast. You can listen and subscribe for free.
For free, honey.
Nico Annan is an American actor, dancer, and choreographer. He is best known for his portrayal as Uncle Clifford on the Starz drama series P-Valley, an adaptation of Katori Hall's play Pussy Valley, in which Annan originated the role. He is currently the executive producer and host of a new docuseries, Down in the Valley, which I cannot wait, which delves into what life is like in the Deep South, showcasing the people, culture, music, ancient rituals, and, of course, the strip clubs. Please welcome Nico and Nan to the stage. Come on and make a little entrance. Come on, let the people see you. In Balenciaga down. Hey, friend. Hey, friend. Hey, friend. Hey, friend.
Energy. Why y'all so low energy up in her? I can't take it. I mean, it's the humming things hot. You sitting down.
Honey, I'm sticking to the chair. That's why I can't stand up. I put on
well,
shorts.
when it's good and sweet, that's what it do. It can be like that, and I'm be like this. Yes.
How are you, friend? Welcome.
I am well. I'm well. Y'all don't talk about me. These are my prescription glasses. I'm brothers of a certain age. I be needing to see.
You need to see? Well,
I
honey,
do.
I'm happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you.
You're one of my faves.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Why? Okay, so boom. So I didn't see the first season of P-Valley until it was the second season, so everybody was talking about the show.
Mhm.
And I was living in Ghana at the time.
Come on,
Yes.
that's where my dad's from.
I know, I read. And you're from Detroit?
I am.
My mama from Detroit.
Come on from the D.
Yeah.
What up, dog?
What up?
That's why I was saying that I love a good Cadillac because
Yes.
I was like, that's some Detroit.
It's like born and bred, yes.
That's correct.
Yes, it speaks to the spirit. But no, so I was there in Ghana, and I needed, sometimes I just need to hear an American accent, I need to feel like home. And so I started watching in P-Valley.
In Ghana.
Yes,
Come
in
on.
Ghana. Yes, I had to put my Express VPN on, but I got it though. And then I had to buy some episodes on Amazon Prime because I couldn't get past the Starz got a series. Yeah, hi, friend. Hi. You're one of my faves.
Come on, I thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
I appreciate it, and I like these eyes.
Thank you very much.
It's so bad. I just be like, damn, I'm on the other team.
I mean, yeah.
But I do appreciate beauty.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? I do appreciate beauty.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I don't see no rank on that finger, so you know
No,
what I'm saying?
not yet,
All
not
those
yet.
that's ready, come on and holler. You know what I mean?
Why are you trying to marry me off,
I'm
sir?
just saying, I ain't trying to marry you off. Just can you have a good time? Can the sister have a good
you
time?
said something about a ring. That's serious.
To some.
Look, can we talk about this documentary? Because they're going to get me to wrap it up real quick.
Y'all trying to wrap up already?
No, not yet. No, not yet. Real quick.
Okay, I'm like, I don't do nothing that quick.
I wanted to...
I don't.
Friend.
I don't. They all know. Y'all getting to, it's so funny people getting to know Nico.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a good old long time.
Are you now?
I am. Baby! You know what I mean? I only give a little bit for Uncle Clifford, but I be like, Nico, good long show.
Friend. How many episodes of this documentary are there?
Down in the Valley is the new documentary.
Yes.
I was about to say 10.
Okay.
But that wasn't for the episodes. It was,
Friend, go ahead. Go ahead.
Whoa.
Don't react to that, friend.
Y'all are so inappropriate. Oh my God. Giving honor to glory to God, the head of my life. No, the documentary is 6 episodes. Docu-series is 6 episodes, yeah.
Okay.
And it's going to be everything. I feel like some of the, I guess how you can say like I'll call them Nicoisms, but my take on life. It's been my experience of working on P-Valley since it was Pussy Valley, which is a real housing development that was in Memphis, and people understanding that it's real. It's not just something that's fictitious, but I think it was an idea that I had back during season 1, actually. And of course, as folks of color, they don't always say no. They don't always say yes at the right time. But when Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. Ain't no Christians in the house.
I
It's
love
okay.
it. It's not. It's not. I went to a very quiet church. We
Oh,
didn't,
Lord. You
we
was
didn't
on that
even clap.
hymno 113.
No, it was black, but we just we didn't clap. We said amen. It was one of those.
I went
It
to
was
an
a
Amy
DC
Zion
one.
church.
How was that?
Growing up, yeah. Lomax Temple over on DeQuinta.
Okay.
In Detroit, you know what I mean? Come on, Detroit up in the house.
There's a
for
lot.
Real, for real.
They're represented
Yeah,
well.
I did. And I remember I kept falling asleep in church, and I was like, Mama, if I have to wake up and come to
Yes.
church, I should
I
be
need
able
to
to
go
be awake.
somewhere.
So
Yes.
then I went to Unity over on Tireman, and that was my Baptist church experience. And I'm telling you my whole life, for what reason?
Because people like to talk to me. It's fine.
Okay.
Where did you go for the docuseries? What parts of this?
Oh, we
South
went
did
to
you
the
go through?
South. We went to the real deal. We went to Charleston, Mississippi. That's where I had my good hot water cornbread. And got into the country line dancing and all the things. Because I was talking earlier, when we were doing this, what's the sister that came out with the low vibration plates?
Oh, we know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? But they were like,
That was
Nico, you
good
about to
eating.
eat black eyed peas on camera?
Yes.
And I was like, have you
Yes.
not seen this thickness? I don't understand.
Yes.
I didn't, for me, I'm trying to live, I do live in my truth, but I'm trying to bring us all into a space where we can eradicate this shaming of ourselves and our culture on all levels.
Yeah.
Because see, I can go to the Met and I can go over here to Cedar Point and Six Flags, and I can get me a corn dog, you know what I'm saying? And I can get me a filet mignon. You know what I mean? I know it all. I get my jollof rice. I can get me some dirty rice. I can do, like, I don't limit myself to my pleasure.
Yes. Ratchet and respectable.
I am ratchet and respectable, indeed.
I love it. I love it. Was there anything surprising that you found going through the South? Was it the commonality that everyone has? Was it the people you met? Anyone stand out? Was there anything that was just like, what?
You know, it wasn't surprising to me because I know us. One of the best things about it for me was, you know, on this trajectory of career, I haven't been able to be home with my family as much. You with all my cousins and stuff. So I was just like, screw it, balls to the wall, and I'm taking this opportunity to really be with all of these people that I am meeting and like engaging with them on a real level. So they were like, oh my God, Uncle Clifford, Nico, oh my God. And I was like, yo, what up? What's good? Well, how your mama? This your mama? You know, like I'm in there. And I think like that really comes across in the docuseries. I hope it does. I had a good time. My cousin Junebug is mad that he wasn't in it. You know what I mean? You know,
that tells me everything.
You know, everybody, hey, it say it all. But it was really, one of the things that shocked me was in Bentonia, Mississippi, another place we went to. They have a population of, I think it's 319 or 96.
Still,
Come on, 397.
Okay.
Is that a producer in the house?
I think that's Akima.
Okima? I knew it was
heard
your
the voice.
ass.
Yes.
Yeah, Okima more one of my producers over there.
Yes.
But Mr. Jimmy, he is a Grammy-nominated blues artist, and he has a juke joint called the Blue Front Cafe. And for me, the parallels of his cafe and the parallels of the Pink were really, really, really mind-blowing for me because he grew up working, his parents on the cotton field and the plantation, just like Ernestine, grandmother Ernestine's, her parents, and the Pink being a cotton mill first and then turning into the juke joint, and he turned his into the juke joint. His parents bought it coming out of the plantation era and slavery and all of that. And then Mr. Jimmy has a nephew that takes care of the pool hall where all the young people go and hang out, whose name is Miss Lenny. And when I think about Miss Lenny, I was thinking about Uncle Clifford, and I was like, the Blue Front, the Pink. And Katori don't know about this place. I called her, I was like, girl, did you know about it? She was like, what? Like, you have to go there. You have to tell that story. You have to see what it's about. So really being able to see the real life of the world that is influenced or reflecting. I say reflected because the scary thing is that I've watched this woman. I remember being on a stage during rehearsal for Pussy Valley when we were doing the full production in Minnesota and seeing Katori out here on, like, she on her phone right now. She was on her computer taking notes of what we were doing, like, you know, and because she was writing. I ain't calling you out. You multitasking. Go ahead. You can be talking to your child. You can be talking to the babysitter. I ain't talking. I'm calling y'all like that. But like, I saw her and I was like, "What's wrong?" And she was like, "Huh?" And she kind of snapped out of it. And she was like, "Oh, I'm just listening to the characters." Nobody was talking. I was like,
"Oh, they're in her head, writers."
Yes.
Yeah,
and
writers.
She's a true writer, and so to go from those type of experiences to then being in a world where I'm meeting people who truly reflect relationships like Mercedes and Pastor Woodbine and their relationship, that mother-daughter relationship, or even dealing with, like, if you come into are you coming to the premiere tonight?
I didn't know there was a premiere tonight.
Okay, so baby, let me tell you something. Come on, tonight at 7 o'clock. I want to pick you up. We're gonna go over to the convention
Okay, that
center
sounds
at
like a good
7
time.
o'clock.
Yes. All right. I'm in. Thank you.
You ready?
All right. Yes.
All right, what you want?
I want you. I want to hang out with you.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't want nothing to eat?
No, I'm good.
You don't want nothing to drink?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
You sure you the other?
Hey.
I'm just.
Baby.
Okay, friend. They are giving
I'm
me
a
the
versatile
record.
man.
He's
I'm
like
a versatile man.
Apparently.
I am. Listen, I like a lot of things. You're never gonna know what you're gonna get.
All right. They are giving me the wrap it up sign.
Who?
Look on the corner.
I ain't gonna
Look
wrap
on the
it up.
side.
I believe in safe sex. What are you talking about?
They need me to wrap up the conversations. I gotta be very specific with you, I see.
Yeah.
Very specific.
Don't you like specifics?
I do.
Let's be clear.
Specifically tell me when I can watch Down in the Valley.
Down in the Valley is premiering July 5th.
Thank you, friend.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I thank you.
I'm glad to have you on my
Yes.
show. You're a friend in my head, and I love that you're more amazing
I'm a
in
friend
real
now
life.
in real life.
Yes, I know.
Now, where the camera at? Where the camera at? Because I want you to click like and click comment and subscribe. What's the name of the platform?
It's called Ratchet and Respectable.
You hear that? Now, what's the ratchet part of you, though?
We have to get to know each other better for that.
The knees is a little too clean. The knees a little too clean.
Bye.
You can't do all that. You can't do all that. I'm just
You a
saying,
mess.
I'm not a
You
mess.
a mess.
I'm real clean with it. I guarantee
Sir,
you.
cut the cameras, please. Just cut the cameras. We're done. We're
So
done.
listen,
Just cut the cameras.
Down in the Valley is coming out on Starz this summer. This is the in-between. Some people are like, oh, we want season 3. We want season 3.
We do want season 3.
You gonna get season 3 because I just
Okay.
came from work. I'm
Okay,
just coming
thank
from
you.
work.
That's good to know.
Yes.
Very pleased to hear.
Yes, you gonna
Do
get
we have a
season
release
3.
date for season 3?
Ain't no release date when you're in the middle of filming it.
I mean, just you don't have an idea, like a.
My ideas ain't what that network's
Oh, Lord.
ideas are
Okay.
necessarily.
All right,
You
all
understand
right.
what I mean?
All right.
You know, it is still a business of show.
It is.
It is still a business of show.
Business
But
of show.
what I will tell you is that it is beyond
Okay.
worth it. Because I'm tired.
Okay.
I am tired. I'm here. I got baby, got that good work. Got that good work. But it's so good. I'm so hyped. I'm fatigued from the work of it all. But I'm ready for this journey. This journey right here, it's been a labor of love. And down in the valley, for real, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's a lot of joy, and I think a lot of respect is gonna be put on our culture, and people ain't gonna be ready for that.
I can't wait. July 5? July 5th?
July 5.
Okay.
Come on, July
All right.
5, all summer long.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank
So
y'all.
much, Nico. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much to Cadillac. Thank you so much to you for coming out. I don't know if it's still raining, but whatever you've endured today, thank you so much for coming out and spending it with Ratchet and Respectable, spending it the Fillmore, spending it with ABFF. So thank you very much. Have an amazing rest of your ABFF, rest of your day. And I hope to see y'all out tonight. Thank you. Thank you, friends.
Today's episode is brought to you by Angie. Angie has made it easier than ever to connect with skilled professionals to get all your jobs and projects done well. Let me tell you, there's the version of it where you try to do something at home, and then there's a version of it where you have someone help you, you watch them do it the right way, and you go, thank God I didn't try to do that myself. I have fully done things around the home that I think look good, and then a bang in the night, and I wake up to a shelf collapsing, a painting falling off the wall. I've seen it all go south. I own a home, and I can tell you, I know how much work it can take. Whether it's everyday maintenance and repairs or making dream projects a reality, it can be hard just to know where to start. But now all you need to do is Angie that and find a skilled local pro who will deliver the quality and expertise you need. Whatever your home project, big or small, indoor or outdoor, you can Angie that and connect with skilled professionals to get the project done well. Right now, one of my wish lists is I want a bike for my condo in Milwaukee, and I would love to rig it up on a pulley in the ceiling because I have one of those like lofted ceilings, but I'm so scared to try that on my own. Angie has 20 years of home experience, and they've combined it with new tools to simplify the whole process. Bring them your project online or with the Angie app. Answer a few questions and Angie can handle the rest from start to finish, or help you compare quotes from multiple pros and connect instantly, which means you can take care of any home project in just a few taps. Because when it comes to getting the most out of your home, you can do this when you Angie that. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.